Hey everyone, it's Sarah Oblak Spiker here. How are you? I want to take a moment today and share with you a case study that I got a permission from a client of mine actually to share with you. The inspiration came when we were talking with this particular client who is a typical kind of a person that I get the honor to work with. Multiple 6-7 figure entrepreneur, pretty much solopreneur, have created amazing success. Is just getting started compared to where they see themselves as, and yet they are hitting this glass ceiling, despite the fact that they have created and invested incredible amount of time, effort, and money in personal development. They understand mindset. They understand the spiritual aspect of this whole holistic approach to business, to life, to parenting, to relationships, and so on. So like I said, they are hitting the glass ceiling, and it had nothing to do with the mindset. It had everything to do with the very strategic and tactical aspects of their businesses, which has been neglected while they were pursuing their personal development. You know how we always hear that 80% is mindset and 20% is strategies? Well, that 20% in this case was holding the back. So like I said, I wanted to share with you the case study and take you through the steps in case there is something for you to take away and apply into your own business or life for that matter, because it really goes hand in hand, and you'll understand why in just a little bit. Before I get there, yes, I'm coming to you from my creativity zone, which is the floor of our living room. I am in the middle of a project myself, and I have note cards and color-coded post-its scattered all over the floor. But when this particular client shared with me that the work that we did last week created a visceral reaction, and we were able to address it immediately, I was like, this is something that gets to be shared right now. So here we are. Like I said, this particular client is a service provider, and they specialize in delivering project-based expertise, which means that clients come in, they get their services delivered, they pay their invoice, they're out. The stress levels of this particular work, even though they have created very stable income, it came to the point when their own reaction to request for an invoice was like, oh my gosh, I can't even send out an invoice. I'm literally pushing the money away. What the heck? Sarah, help. A good problem to have, right? So like I said, this was not a part of the mindset piece. It literally was that they were overwhelming with how they were running the business and how they outgrew the rhythm, the dynamics that they have created that got them to where they are right now. The solution is not in trying to automate things or in increasing prices or any of that just yet, because there was something much simpler that was actually holding them back. So they were hitting this glass ceiling without even knowing. So as always, I start with a very simple question of where do you see yourself as? That allows me to uncover not just what the big vision that the client sees as possible, but always when they share that big vision, I start noticing where they're pulling it back, when they're trying to walk it back, where they're trying to negate it and minimize themselves by saying, well, but it's not necessary, or but I don't know how, but a whole set of other objections gonna rise up with it, and attachments to how it's supposed to look like and what their guess is that will be requiring of them. So oftentimes what I experienced with somebody who has already created incredible success and they burned out, they resist dreaming big because they don't want to repeat the experience of burning out, without knowing that simple strategic and tactical shifts can actually create a whole different experience. And this is what we did with this particular client. So once I realized that they were actually resisting the growth because they were afraid of how to even hire help, much less how to manage and how to retain and how to pay the support, They didn't even know not just how to hire it, but what to hire them for. And so the recommendation that I made was so simple that they were laughing, literally laughing. It's like, I can't believe I did not think about it. And here's the thing, it's not about the information. Literally anybody can Google everything up, go to the library, get resources, information is there. Transformation and actually applying that, that's a whole different story. And selecting which piece applies to you, which doesn't. And also going back to something that's been so simple that you have been dismissing for years, but now you have different set of experiences you can layer it in differently, you can see it from a different angle, from a different perspective. So the recommendation that I made for them was just take some color-coded Post-its and break it all down, put it on Post-its, all the things that you're juggling as a business owner, as a service provider, as a parent, as a human being, and somebody who is also running a household. They came back to me in a couple of days and they, holy shit, I had no idea. There's so much. Because this is how you get started. You have to see it in order to start connecting the dots and saying, okay, you know what? I really like doing this. And this is really something that I need to do. But those things, I don't necessarily have to do them. Somebody else can. Oh, and look at a whole set of things that I've been doing completely unnecessarily. I can eliminate them altogether. The funny thing happened after this set of exercise. They just got back to me, which, like I said, inspired this video. They said, I literally had a visceral reaction. My body was throwing a fit. There were tears, there were fears. And they said, you know, what's the next step? So this is what I wanted to share with you. Sometimes it's not about the actual next step that is scary. In this particular case, my guess would also be, and I invited my client to really feel into it and see if that resonated, which it did, that after they had it all on paper, it was literally like a withdrawal. When you are detoxifying your body, your mind, your spirit, when you're holding so much and you finally dump it on the paper and it finally makes sense and you finally release all this weight, you need to recalibrate. So of course, there was a visceral reaction to it. And then secondly, which was also something that I've been hearing a lot from my clients, when they're holding themselves back, they are doing so because there's a resistance. And I said, well, obviously this is not the right path for me, otherwise I wouldn't be feeling resistance to it. Yes, and I challenge you, just like I challenge them, that perhaps it's not this next step that they feel resistance to. Maybe it's simply to test their commitment, how committed they are to the final vision of, are they committed to move through the resistance to get to it? And secondly, to look to the layer or two below and beyond that which is is evoking and triggering this resistance, and see what value, what stories, what outcome are they applying to it, what attachments they have to that second, third, or fourth layer, because that's where those answers might be. And again, this was something that really resonated with this particular client. And now when they went on their own, they will be sitting with it, they will be diving into it, they will be feeling into it on their own until we connect the next time. But like I said, this was simply something that I felt called to share with the wider audience, because I know for a fact that it's a very common occurrence that sometimes, you know, it's the mindset part and it's the spiritual practice, and also very simple, very pragmatic, very strategic and tactical aspects that you can take care of in a moment, and it's gonna clear the path for whatever comes next. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please do let me know. If you know anybody who would find this video helpful, hey, send them our way or share this video with them. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.